we as a society have a problem. Black society, have a problem.
Agreed.
That we need to address. I think the biggest thing that is affecting the Black community right now is the absenteeism of the father.
Absolutely.
Sound engineer.
Mic check.
So I guess the current topic right now we were going to talk about was the feminization of our young boys, specifically Black boys. I think that there's a couple of things, like with the fathers not being in the home, that puts a strain on the mother to be the mother and the father, right? And I think that boys are the same now as they were when I was growing up, as they were when my grandfather was growing up, right?
No,
but
go ahead.
I'm talking about as far as like energy level and activity and all that stuff. But right now, or back then, when a boy had a whole lot of energy, the dad who was there would take him out, throw the ball with him. He would play catch with him. He would run him. They would go to the park. They'd spend active time together. Whereas now, boys seem uncontrollable because they just have so much energy. And now they even put a disease or they put it, syndrome. ADHD or ADHD. Every boy is hyper. We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree.
Yeah.
But every boy that I've ever seen is hyper. I mean, unless there's some type of an imbalance or something like that.
No, they're not. Some of them just chill. Some kids just chill. Yeah. Some kids are just chill. Yeah. They don't want no problems. I have 3 boys at home, 3 different generations or 2 different generations. I have a 23-year-old, completely different than the last 2. Sure. The 23-year-old, he good eggs. I had rotten eggs. There's a such thing as that, I think. Honestly, these 2 last ones, they are rotten eggs. They are horrible. And they get it from me. Rotten eggs. Genetically, they get it from their mother, I think, honestly. And so, one of them is extremely active, is what people might say that they have ADHD. But when do you know that boys are 6 times more likely to be diagnosed with ADHD? No, I can imagine. So I agree with that. But so when it comes down to, I don't know. I just think we have a completely different understanding of our experience. Of course, we definitely have a different experience of family upbringing. My father, growing up in the South, the men did not raise kids. They took care of kids. They paid for them. You know what I'm saying? So my dad was in the house. My mom and dad married for 48 years now, or something like that, a little bit more than 48. But my father was a provider. He provides. From one year to the next, he didn't know what grade I was in or what have you. It's just like when he needs to show up to graduation, if he's invited, he's there. I lived in the house with both my parents or what have you, but he was absolutely absentee. Every now and then he would, play with us a little bit or whatever. And I'm talking about a little bit, like maybe all of 30 minutes for the week, but that's if he's in a good mood, because he's had a lot of stress on him. He had a high profile job. He had a very stressful job. So he's not in the mood to play. He's not in the mood to deal with children's things. And so if this child is active, but being in the house with him on a daily basis showed you what or how a man conducts himself. How a man should not conduct himself. I've never dated. That's not what I said. I've never. Because there are definitely bad parents out there. Not to say that your dad was a bad parent, but I'm just saying there are bad parents out there. There are good parents out there. But I'm talking about a father. What I'm saying is I specifically date men that are not like my father. I specifically date men that are not like my father. And I also realize that I have, unfortunately, a lot of my father in me. And it's not good for parenting. My father is not a good parent. No doubt. I'm not saying that you're wrong or right in that. But what you're saying is I don't think he did a good job.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. There's definitely parents, just because you're there doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to have a good good parent. No. But what I'm saying is that the averages, if you look at the stats, kids that commit suicide, 83% of them that do had an absentee father. Kids that are in jail, that have gone to jail at least once, I think it's 78% of them had an absentee father. I mean, it's not so much that the father is the end all be all. It requires a balance. You need a man and a woman.
Absolutely.
from a nuclear family standpoint.
I agree 100% with that. However, what I don't want to agree with the fact that it's the absenteeism only of the father and maybe not the stresses from the mother. Because maybe I'm saying, okay, more importantly, I'm saying that the reason why the absentee father or the father is absentee in the first place is because the mother is bat crazy.
Oh, no. We'll get into that. I'm not saying that.
Or the fact that that child is suicidal or whatever because that mother sees the father or thinks of the father when they see that child and treats the child horribly.
Yes. There are, like I said, there are bad parents. There's and just because somebody stays there or sticks around doesn't mean. But what I'm saying is that when you like. The
father is absolutely necessary. He is vital.
He is necessary.
He is vital.
And there are a lot of people out there. And I'm going to tell you what kind of is contributing to this. It's the welfare state. We have made it really easy. And I'm not saying it's women's fault. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's the guy's fault. Sometimes it's both of their faults. But they've made it really easy for women to marry the state. And they can say, forget that dude.
Oh, yes.
I can get.
They've encouraged that.
Yes, they have.
But do you not think that has anything to do with the separation of the black man from the family structure more so than the white man from the family structure?
Absolutely. Because yes, it's more in the black families because do you know back in 1963, back when it was supposed to be one of the roughest times for us, segregation, Jim Crow, all of that stuff. Any child that was born in a black household was born to a single mother 23% of the time.
Only 23?
Only 23. You know what that number is today? Of how many black kids are born to a single family mom? Not saying that the father is absent, but to just the mom.
On the birth certificate? Yes.
Do you know what the percentage is?
No.
What do you think it is?
What is this? Are you talking about society as a whole or just a specific demographic?
Blacks.
Oh, I unfortunately, I would say 80s, maybe.
74%. That number shocked me.
That didn't shock me, no.
But it shocked me from a standpoint. Shocked me because I see a lot of single moms. And there's nothing, look, I get it. Relationships don't work. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But we as a society have a problem. Black society.
Oh yes.
Have a problem.
Agreed.
That we need to address. I think the biggest thing that is affecting the black community right now is the absenteeism of the father.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's not racism.
100%.
Yeah, it is not.
It's far greater than oppression. It's far greater than any kind of society.
Yes.
It's in the home.
Because we have been oppressed before. We've been segregated before.
We've been successful.
And we've been successful. Right now, what is killing the black...
And the worst part about it is we're achieving individual successes that are far, far more than our ancestors probably would have ever guessed. But it's not a success.
Yes.
It's not a win. I don't think for our community, it's not a win if the family unit is not intact. It's not a win when we have the first black president and then the rest of the families, all of them are not together. It's not a win when there's a first black CEO of a Fortune 500 company. It's not a win for the black community if you don't have the family unit at the very crux, at the very core of all of these successes.
Right.
So when I see these women and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me look at her hand. I'm like that. I am very every board meeting I go to.
Look at her hand. Why? To see if she's got.
See if she has a ring. See if she's married.
Oh, yeah.
She's out here and she's winning these disagreements, agreements, whatever. She's winning these contracts. She's in the boardroom and she's making meetings and she's handling her business. But is she handling it at home as well? Mm-hmm. I want to look at that, and I can guarantee you and that's me. Every big meetings and all the big meetings I go to at CDC and the FBI and all those meetings, Black women all bear no rings.
So
not only not rings, because people do after they get to a 30-year-old whatever marriage, they don't wear the ring anymore, what have you. But our white counterparts are wearing their rings and they are married. So even if the Black woman is married, she's just not wearing her ring. Okay, but I haven't seen that because I know who these women are and I know they're married or not.
So
but
I'll tell you this.
They're not married.
I've dealt with some guys that have said that Black women are a little bit too harsh and that's why they're not married. And I'm trying to be for y'all that they're a little bit too harsh. Now, immediately women will clap back and say, well, you just can't handle a successful woman. No, you just can't handle a woman that thinks for herself. No, there's a difference between thinking for yourself and having your own opinions and being harsh in the way that you express them, because I think a lot of Black women try and emasculate their guys.
I think Black women have been raised to be independent, and every other ethnicity has been raised to be a wife.
That's an interesting.
I believe that when you go to Thanksgiving or any holiday celebrations at an other ethnic household, if they bring their boyfriends home and the boyfriend gets up and cleans his plate and takes it to the garbage or whatever, at a Black household, the mother and the father, oh, look at him, he did it all by himself, that's good for him, look at him, okay, he has his stuff together. A Hispanic household, she's going to be berated in Spanish about not picking up that guy's plate and cleaning it off for him and taking it for him to show him that she is a good wife material and she can do those kind of things. White household, I don't necessarily know what happens in that household, but I know when they go to college, they don't go to college for the cultural experience. They go to college to find their spouse, their mate.
Yeah,
they go to college for those things.
Yeah.
So even if they don't get married after college or they don't find that person and date them, guess what? They end up reverting back like, hey, actually 10 years from now, I actually did marry my college, not high school, but my college, whatever, boyfriend or crush, or I met him in college or what have you. They do go to college to find their spouses, even if they have,
That's really interesting. Okay. So for more videos to find out about us and more Be That Way content, go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe. That really helps our channel. And go ahead and come back and see some more.
All right.